Okay, so if you could go back in time, what would you do different about your career and why?
It's quite hard for me to answer because actually, without sounding sort of too smug or anything like that, I actually wouldn't change anything because what happened organically. So when I was a teacher, I was working with one set of challenges with children, with young kids as a class teacher. And then when I became a mom, I was sort of bringing up two kids. And then I went back to working, teaching, but also working with Terry at the magazine. And, it's just doors opened and I was just able to walk through them. So I was really lucky to be in the right place at the right time. So I wouldn't change anything, I'm afraid.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, Matty, should we go to you for your first question?
Hello. I'd just like to say thank you for choosing me. That was a huge honour. But my first question is, how do you approach or identify new artists to work with?
Are you talking about me with the Soul Project, or Terry when he was editorially doing the magazine?
Both, either.
I can answer my bit of it.
Yeah.
I'll answer my bit first. I think with Soul, I really just it tended to be people I met.
Mm-hmm.
I would have an idea for a project, and there would be certain people that I knew would understand the sort of thing I was talking about, and so I would ask them if they were interested in participating. And when there was a new project, there would be, in the couple of years since I'd done the last one, there would be new people. So, for example, if I was ever to do another one, and I'm not sure that I will because I don't have the backup, but there are certainly people I've met in the meantime who I would say, gosh, if I was ever going to do another one, would you be a part of it? Again, my whole career has been, apart from actually studying to be a teacher, it's all been very organic. And so yeah, people I've met, people who inspire me, people I've met who are creative people who I think will understand the project.
Cool, thank you. My second question was, would you suggest finding an agent? And if yes, how would you suggest doing that?
I spoke to Terry about this because I saw your question and I asked what he would advise. I think it's really difficult because on the one hand, if you have an agent, they're going to take probably 25% of anything you earn. And nowadays with people's access to the internet, you possibly could circumvent that and you might not have to go that route. But traditionally, people would try and find an agent. And what I would say is that what you should do is really do your research and look at people's work that you like and admire, and then see who they're with. See if you can bring yourself to their notice in some way by sending them something or trying to contact them. I mean, I know that people in the creative industry get completely inundated with pieces of work, so it's kind of up to you to be able to send something and say, look, I know that you've got these people on your books. I think they're amazing. I'd love you, could you just look at my work at some point? That's probably what I do.
Yeah. Great, thank you. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, you asked. Oh no, it was you. You asked how did I get into the industry?
Yes, that was another one. If you had time, but already answered that one, so that's no problem.
No, I mean, it was accidental. Weirdly, when I was at school, I actually wanted to do fashion journalism, which is really funny. I was at boarding school, and there were two options. I was interested in teaching and working with young kids, but even more than that, it was the 60s, and I was really interested in fashion, and I wanted to be a fashion journalist. And I looked into it a little bit, and I found out that you couldn't stay in London, which is where I live. You had to go and be somewhere like, the John O'Groats Times or something, and I was like, I don't want to live out of London. I mean, I'd been at boarding school in Brighton. and I was very like, I want to be back in London. And weirdly, I then ended up going to Bristol training college. But no, you know, it was kind of that I met Terry, and you know, it was sort of it was only many years later that I realised that actually somehow the thing had come full circle, and I actually was kind of a fashion journalist, not writing about frocks, but writing about other stuff. So that was kind of weird. It was, I think it was one of those questions at the beginning of ID where it says, what did you want to be when you were younger? And I was like, well, I wanted to be a teacher. Oh, or I actually wanted to be a fashion journalist. That's so weird. But it wasn't, I think it was a different time. You know, I'm 67, and the 60s were kind of, I think there's probably more people who want to get into creative industries now.
Yeah.
And I think it's possibly more pressurized than it used to be. Mine was just kind of lucky and organic, I guess.
Great, thank you.